to Misplaced Manchester.
Hi everyone, I'm Fiona, and if you're anything like me, which I know some people in this room are, now and again you've woken up after a night out and you realise you don't have all the worldly possessions that you left the house with the day before. And this is where our app, Misplaced Manchester, comes in. As my colleagues are going to show you, the app allows you to browse items that other users have lost or found in the area, upload a photo of an item and the details of it, and it has an inbuilt chat function, which is really hard to say, to connect the finders and the losers. So before we get into it, just a tiny word about our process. Once we had the idea nailed down, here you can see we had a brainstorm about what the final name was going to be with the expletives hidden there. And we created this beautiful Kanban board, and we had a good old practice on GitHub to make sure we had a really good handle on version control. And then, as pretty much all of the tech that we chose to use was brand new to us, we spent some time researching how to use it and spiking out where we were going to go. And now Yannick is going to narrate for you. You really are in for a treat. This is an incredible piece of cinema history that's going to demonstrate our app being used out in the wild.
Yeah, so I'm Yannick, and I'm going to talk you through both most of the simplistic sort of technical aspects of what our tech stack and all that, along with some real-life user stories that, well, how we intended our app to be used in the real world. So, okay. So our app's a PWA, basically just progressive web app, means that you can add it to your home screen once you've gone to the URL, and it will act essentially as just a native app. Easy, just tap on it on your home screen, open it up, all the functionalities there. Fantastic. As you can see demonstrated there. So, right, so onto the user stories. Here's James at the pub with his pint, having a good time. Takes his watch off to be comfortable, as you do, but the Melanie's forgotten it. What a bother. Thankfully, though, for him, just a moment you'll see, Marek here, what a gentleman, finds this watch. And good thing for him, or for James moreover, he's a user of our app. So as you can see him scrolling through the items here, he doesn't see that James has posted the lost item. By the way, all of this hosted on Postgres database. We're using a Python backend. Here you can see him uploading a picture that he's about to take. That'll be hosted on a Google Cloud platform. And then just adding a couple of details, such as a short title, which is just the item in question, a short description, more specifically where he found it, i.e. the Pilcrow pub. Then a filterable drop-down menu for a location which is a bit more general, such as the Northern Quarter, which you'll see. And then just a category, which he's put as jewelry. So we're going to switch to James, who's going to log into his app now, using a Firebase authentication system. He's going to see that, scrolling through the items posted. Oh, that's his watch. So he's going to press a button. I think that's mine, which will take him to a private chat between him and Marek. Again, all these messages are stored using Firebase. You can see these two just swapping messages now. Very sort of simple. It's a chat. I'm sure you'll know how it works. Just kind of verifying that, this is his watch. He's asking him, like, are there any defining features of this? He's just kind of giving him the, yeah, my name's engraved on it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see that. They are going to sort out place to meet, time, and as you'll see in a second, being reunited. Here they are, James, looking very forlorn, might I say. And here he comes, Marek, save the day. James gets his watch back, and all is right in the world. I'll now pass you on to Colin, who will talk to you about our backend.
Cheers. Yeah, I really wish I had a video. As Yannick mentioned there, our backend is built in Python with Flask and a Postgres database that works alongside Firebase for the authentication, the in-app messaging, and Google Cloud Platform for the photos. As I think when we chose to use Python, it was pretty unanimous. We walked into the project room, came up with the idea, and asked each other what we fancied using, and everybody said Python. Generally speaking, seems to be the smart option when it comes to trying to find the technology which is new, straightforward to learn. Plenty of resources out there to get going with it, and loads of frameworks we can use alongside it. Decided to use Flask, again, more or less the exact same reasons. For a 2-week project, it was perfect. And then in terms of using Firebase and the products that are available with it, it's, well, first off, it's free. It's serverless, it's all real time, and most of the backend functionality tends to come straight out of the box, which is quite convenient. In terms of how it all works under the hood, so when a person logs into the application or tries to, it'll go to our Firebase authentication database and search for those credentials. If they're not there, it'll prompt you to sign in, and you can sign up with a new email address, password, and give yourself a display name, which is then accessible through the whole application, so that whenever you actually try to message another user, it will create another private chat room in the Firebase in-app messaging, and only you and that other user have access to it. So there's no dodgy business going on there. Most interestingly, we had to sort of work out how we were going to integrate the Google Cloud Platform with the Postgres database for the items. So basically, when you, as you just seen, when you're filling out the form, it asks you to upload the photo first. And then once that is successfully uploaded, what you'll get back is a URL, which we were able to store as a variable, pass into the form, so that when we're actually rendering all of the items from the Postgres database later on, it'll fetch that image, the relevant image from the Google Cloud Platform, and bring it back so that everything's correct and all matched up. That's about it on the back end, and James is going to chat you through the front end.
Thank you very much, come on. Right. Front end, it's built in React, as you can see. It's PWA, obviously. We did cover React on the course, admittedly, but we wanted to try and learn something new. So we looked into hooks, which is something that's not taught on the course. So we have kind of learnt quite a bit doing it. It also allows us to build one app, and you have it acting as though it's native on a phone when you download it. The great thing about PWAs, though, is that you have this service worker. Don't know if people have heard of service workers, you may have done, but effectively, when you first load the app, it caches all of the pages on the app, and then on subsequent uses of the app, it will access them. And so you get much faster page loads, you get near native app behavior, and that all leads to a much better user experience. So you do get rendering, and obviously when we're offline, we've got a page here that shows you're offline when you're in aeroplane mode. So that all comes together to appear as though it really is a native app. And I'm just going to pass you over to Marek, and he's going to explain some of the issues we've had.
Right. Yeah, so we have some issues, but I will list a few. Python and Flask. Because this tech stack is like a brand new to us, then going through the docs was sometimes hard. We ran into some issue that one of the packages which see the database, it would only work on Macs. So our solution to that was 3 people with Macs. They work backend Python, while the rest of the team focused on the front end till the backend was done. Firebase authentication. At first, it looks easy to get such a small amount of code in our app, but that was really challenging, and we come out together as a team, and we managed to solve this. Again, we are all brand new to Firebase, so reading docs wasn't easy for us, but we made it. Communication in our team was great, but of course it could be a bit better. For example, one of our team, one of us spent a full day working on the ChatKit API, so we could have a chat functionality in our app. But next day we discovered that this API doesn't work well with the hooks. So on the daily stand-up, we changed the tech stack for the chat. And yeah, that was the problems. And I'm going to pass mic to Fiona.
So just to quickly wrap up, as you all know, we have quite tight time constraints when we're creating these apps. So there were a couple of things that we would have liked to implement that we didn't quite have time for. We were all aware from the start that it could be open to abuse from some unsavory characters who might want to post some dodgy items in there or even claim things that weren't theirs. So we are trusting our users that they're going to, as you saw in the video, like confirm any like an inscription or whatever it is to make sure it really does belong to the person. And we popped in a report button so that we can crowdsource that policing because we knew we wouldn't be able to do it ourselves. But that isn't quite fully functioning where we'd like it to be. So that would be the thing that we would work on if we had a little bit more time. And if any of us did want to work on this anymore, we think it could have the potential to expand to all kinds of other locations, get businesses involved. So yeah, if anyone fancies doing that, come and see us and we'll sort that out. And that is everything we've got to say. So thank you for listening. And if anyone has any questions, we're happy to take them.